ברשות המר דאתרא, הרב ביטון שליטה, ברשוס, לא שומעים. ברשות הרב, Rabbi Gibber, Rabbi from Goldwicht, Rabbi Lightstone, all the other Rabbanim that I'm forgetting, my good friends and Chavrusa, Alex and Richard, we learn every Monday night. I look around this room, and this room seats 300 people. That's what it says on the flyer. So you can look to your right, you can look to your left, and then think that not this amount of people got killed, not double this amount of people got murdered, 4 times the amount of people who are sitting in this room were murdered 2.5 weeks ago. Men, women, children, young, old. Every person is a story. Every person is a soul. But there's one thing that gives me chizuk when I look around this room, because I look around this room and I see how lucky each and every single one of you are. And all those listening, wherever you're listening. Do you know why every single one of you are extremely lucky? Because you are part of the most incredible nation in the world called Am Yisrael. Mi ke'amcha Yisrael. And I want to share with you just 3, I guess you can call them stories, 3 things that I experienced in the past 2.5 weeks, and 3 messages that I learned from them that hopefully will resonate with you, Mi ke'amcha Yisrael, and how lucky you are to be a Yid. 2 Simchas Torah 2 weeks ago. My phone rings on Shabbos, but it's off. It's in my room. I don't carry my phone on Shabbos. Only on Mochi Shabbos I realized I was already called up as part of the Chavra Kadisha that works for the army. And the first week, we get to Machane Shura, and it is chaos. Hundreds of bodies, hundreds of Kedoshim who gave up their life just because they're Jewish. And we're doing whatever we could to work as quickly as possible to make sure that every single Jew gets his kavod that's deserved. Every single Jew, we try to identify them as quickly as possible because we know that every minute that's wasted, that's a family that's waiting. Where's my son? Where's my daughter? Where's my father? Where's my brother? Where's my sister? Where's my wife? And we take that very seriously. There's one halacha that I want to share you with, and that's one thing that we did. The halacha is that even if a drop of blood comes out, you have to clean it up, and it's buried with a nifter. Every part of a Yid is precious. Every part of a Jew is holy. There was, in between truckloads, we had a few minutes to rest, and there was an American general, I don't even know who he was, who came to the base just to see the horrors of what was going on. And since I'm the one that speaks English, so I was the representative. Here, go speak to our American friends. So I go up to him, and I tell him what we are experiencing, but then I share with him this halacha, that even the small drop that comes out, we quickly clean it up, and we bury it with the nifter, with the kadosh, with the one that was deceased, with the one that was murdered. And he was shocked. He was bewildered. What, really? In the American army, we take a hose and we hose it all down. It's over. The lesson that I learned from this halacha, the message that I learned from this halacha, ki hadam hu hanefesh. Every person here is filled with blood. Every single person here is filled with his neshama. Your neshama is pure no matter what you do. Your neshama, your body, your soul is so kadosh. Mi ke'amcha Yisrael. You're part of a nation that every single part, every single iota of your neshama is holy. You can sin, you can do avirus. That doesn't affect your soul. Those are things that cover your soul. But your soul will always remain pure. Mi ke'amcha Yisrael. Second thing that I saw. Second thing that I experienced. When we were going in the beginning, in the first few days, so there were family members that were coming to the base. They wanted to know, could we get answers? And thank God it didn't happen to me, but a friend of mine, as he was going in, a mother grabs him by his feet and says, did you see my daughter? And she takes a picture out, and she starts crying. And he starts crying also with her. Why? Because it's not just her daughter, it's our daughter. Am Yisrael, we're a family, we're a unit. When I went to visit a shiva of one of the soldiers that got killed, what happened was, I share with them, it's not your personal loss, it's Am Yisrael's loss. And then the last story that I want to share with you. The last story is this past week, after we dealt with all the Kedoshim, last week we went to a different place where all the terrorists were. And we took a DNA sample from each one. Do you know why? Because what happened on that fateful day, on that Shabbos Kodesh, there were civilians that came, and they ran. And they came dressed in civilian uniform, and they took a gun. And they jumped into the line of fire, and they killed a terrorist. And then they picked up his Kalashnikov, and they kept running, kept trying to save Am Yisrael, and then they got killed. But then when the army came and freed the area a day or two later, they saw a guy in shorts and a t-shirt, and he's holding a Kalashnikov. They assumed he was a terrorist. So from each body, we took a sample DNA to make sure that one of the people that was there was not a Jew. And I can tell you definitively today that we found 4 Jewish people among that. That's 4 Jews that are brought to Kvuras Yisrael. If they were married, that's 4 agunas that we saved. Mi ka'amcha Yisrael. This is what we do to go after, to find a Jew after he's nifter. Can you imagine the value that each and every single one of you have? Can you imagine the value that each one of you have? How incredible it is, Mi ka'amcha Yisrael. So the message that I share with you, and this is I'm closing. The message is, we've been through a lot. We suffered. But just like we get knocked down, we get up again. Mi ka'amcha Yisrael. Are you ready? Da-da-da-da-dam, di-di-da-da-hey. Ay, mi ka'amcha Yisrael. Di-di-da-la-la, di-di-la-la-hey.